Hello everyone and welcome to Weekend Rental episode 74. We are your gaming and geek culture podcast. As always, my name is Ryan and I'm joined by Andy,
Nate,
and Nate.
Hey guys, what's going on?
If you like our content, you can check out a whole bunch of other great geeky content, articles, podcasts, and more over at geekade.com. What's your geek?
So
Yay! Here we are. We're all three in a podcast together. I feel like it's been way too long.
It's been a while.
I was out last time. Ryan was out the time before. The Three Musketeers are back.
I was possibly out today, but it happened.
Made it work.
Yeah,
we're sacrificing for you guys.
Yeah.
There's a lot of news hitting in the world of video games, or at least in my feed and stuff like that. I think the most interesting that has come up is a 90-year-old streaming lady. Is that how you say it? Streaming lady? No, that's probably not appropriate.
Probably streamer, Twitch streamer.
Yeah. I mean, do you call a 90-year-old that?
Yeah.
I don't think she's one of the boob tubers, right? I don't think she goes that way.
Yeah, I'm probably not. No, I think the news for all this coronavirus stuff is just now it's just random interesting things popping up because I think the actual news is there's just nothing out there. So I caught this article that a new Guinness World Record came out, and for the oldest gamer, which I don't know, that's kind of tough to determine, I suppose, with all the people in the world. But this woman is 90 years old. She's been gaming, I think it's for 39 years, and has been doing streaming on YouTube and has brought her channel all the way to 250,000 subscribers. And she's playing all the hits. She's playing Skyrim. She's playing I can't even remember what the other one was, but she's playing all the hits, and people are loving it, and she really enjoys it. And it just really had me thinking this whole time, will we be gaming when we're 90 years old? Will our thumbs even work at the age of 90?
I'll have been dead for probably 20 years.
Me
so I'm
too.
going to go, no.
Oh,
I mean, that's
Being real here.
What is the average life expectancy of a game podcaster, do you think? A video game podcaster? Probably
40 tops.
Yeah.
This train wreck's almost over.
Yeah. We're going to have a funeral one of these days. Yeah.
I just feel like life expectancy is like, what, 75? I don't feel like I'm going to achieve more than that. Plus, like, my wife is destined to have Alzheimer's, so I don't know if I need to stick around for a lot of that. Like, by the time she forgets who I am, like, it's fine.
got really, really dark. I think the interesting thing is why at the age of...
Sorry to shit on your feel-good story. I did kind of take that in a bad direction.
And now death. No, it's... I think the interesting part of that whole thing is why in the world would you start doing something that you've never done in your late 50s and 60s, especially video gaming? It's not, I'm going to travel the world. It's not, I'm going to learn how to cook better or whatever. It's, I want to play video games, which I just think is very, very interesting and very unique. And I applaud her. I think that's pretty stinking cool to have a 90-year-old cruising on that.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like, we were talking about how you would see our parents or whatever, and not mine, because they were like mid 50s when I was a kid, mid to late 50s, I would say. And I don't think I've ever saw them touch a game controller before, so having this lady be in that time, in the, basically when the Atari came out, and get into it at that age, that's nuts.
Did they get into it all in the article? Like, was she exposed to it because of children, or she just kind of came into it on her own? Or
Reading the article, she was she just didn't understand why the video games were strictly for kids, and so that's kind of what spurred her along. If they can have it, why can't I?
Sure.
And they went into some details on some of the consoles that she started with, and it didn't start with the Atari. So it was 1981. She started with, I don't know, it was a really strange console I'd never heard of. And I don't know her nationality, and she looks like a little Asian woman. So I don't know. Sometimes video gaming is, it's like a cultural thing too over there. I don't know.
She sounds like the Trix Bunny of video games. Like, not supposed to have it. I need it. I'm after these.
Yeah, it's really interesting. But we've had this discussion before with there was a lady that Animal Crossing, and how many thousands and thousands of hours she put into Animal Crossing, where she's playing it every day. She's elderly, and that's her Facebook. You know,
Yeah.
they're not posting pictures. She's just busy playing Animal Crossing, and that's her thing. So I don't know. We'll see. Goals. Hopefully, at the age of 90, my thumbs can do something. Or like you guys, I'm alive at the age of 90. You know.
Yeah.
I guess.
If I don't make it, if I do make it that long, my biggest goal won't be to continue playing games. It'll mostly just be not to shit myself on a day-to-day basis. But if I can also game, great. I'll take it.
Yep.
At least I have. At least I'm like really into RPGs. So like when I'm older, I don't have to worry about my dexterity as much.
Oh,
You
just
can
your
get
mind.
that one-handed PS4 controller or whenever, and you just go to town.
Yeah.
As long as you have a semi-functioning mind, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine the possibilities, though. Like, if you forgot what you played from the day before, everything's a new adventure. Rediscovering Mario Brothers for the first time.
Oh my
That's a
gosh,
win.
have you heard this? That's what we should do. Just, it's a new adventure every time. That's great.
Rock band when I'm older.
Oh, that is
Well,
not going to work out.
We'll have concerts in the nursing home.
You better set it to, like, no penalty for, like, off-time notes.
Yeah.
It's the only way that's working.
Through the fire and flames on Expert, go for it.
Did you see Stevie T and those guys do a live stream, like a cover of one of their songs?
Yep.
Yeah. I guess he was supposed to go on tour with them and then backed out because of, like, anxiety reasons, but it's pretty cool, though.
Just thinking awesome. That's amazing.
You know what else is amazing?
Tell me.
The best game of the last, one of the best games of the last 10 years being given away for free on the Epic Game Store.
What is that?
That's right.
Fortnite?
Best game should have been an indicator. So Grand Theft Auto 5, they're giving it away free, which I guess makes sense since it just left Game Pass.
Yep.
So they must have thrown a bunch of money at Rockstar. And
Rockstar's like, little do they know, everybody on Earth owns it already. So
yes, well,
there you
this is
go.
my fifth version of this game that I've bought. So
Oh my
that's
gosh.
kind of impressive. But yeah, free. It crashed the store. It was down most of the day that it was like secretly revealed it was a mystery game it was opening. But I'm pretty excited. I downloaded and installed it because I've always wanted to screw around with the mods. And I've wanted to see like how good this game can actually look. I know it looks pretty good on Xbox One X. And PS4 it looks really good too, but PC is obviously going to be the best way to play it. So that's pretty huge. I mean, I know it's an old game, but it still retails for like $30. So for them to give that away, that's massive.
So that kind of sucks for me because I started it on Xbox and have been cruising with it for a little while on Game Pass, and now that they've taken it away, I don't have it anymore. So I've lost everything, my progress, etc.
Well, you'll still have your save file, so if you bought the disc, it should pick up.
Will it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, now I just got to go buy the disc, I guess.
Yeah, you can find it in a pawn. Well, assuming pawn shops are open and available, you should be able to find it for like $5.
I'll have to do that. Or just download it for free, or is it not available anymore?
It's just PC.
Well, I have a PC.
Oh, well then download it. Yeah, it's free on Epic.
You just won't be able to move your saves over to PC though.
Right.
Yeah.
It's free until tomorrow though. So if you create an account, you can download it. Even if you don't think you'll play it, you might as well just digitally purchase it. So if you ever decide
to play a game on my PC.
I love
that
gaming
sounds
on my
pathetic.
PC. I've been doing a lot more Game Pass stuff. In fact, I ran into the stuff being delisted like you did too. I was trying out some new stuff because for some reason there's some good games on there that are only on the PC side. It's like The Messenger I downloaded, and then I downloaded West of Loathing because I heard that was hilarious. And it is, but like when I downloaded it, gave me the warning that it was being taken down. So I think it may be gone or will be gone soon. Also, it was very funny, but it's funny in a very text-heavy way, which I'm not going to do that. Like that, at least at the point that I was playing it, I'm like, yeah, this isn't what I want right now, but good game.
I had the same thing. I played 15 minutes of it. I'm like, oh, it's this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The humor was great.
In the mood, yeah.
Right. Gears Tactics, though, I've been playing, I guess, a substantial amount of that. I probably put in like 6 hours since the last time we talked.
Wow.
I like that game. I wouldn't say it's like a fantastic tactics game, but they do a lot to, well, make it fit into the universe. And then there's a lot more character depth than I was expecting. You get like talent trees or skill trees and like loot to pick up. I don't know. I feel like I kind of have experienced everything I'm probably going to experience in it already, but I'm enjoying it. You know, if you just want a game where you're just going to chill for a couple hours. The problem with that, though, is I have the same problems with tactics games that I have with like Civilization, which I guess are kind of in the same vein, where it's just like I put it in and then 3 hours go by and I'm like, oh, shit.
Like a Rampart beating. Was it Rampart? I tried Rampart with Ryan, the strategy game, and
he could not wrap his head around the very basic strategy of Rampart.
Building a wall I couldn't do and got issues. But anyways,
yeah,
I digress.
Have you tried that one? I know you were talking about it, Andy, too. The tactics.
I haven't been on anything on PC in a while now, but so for somebody who has zero affinity toward Gears of War, doesn't give a shit about Gears of War, does the tactics alone make it better than like an XCOM?
I would say no. I mean, I would say if you like XCOM though, and you don't give a crap about Gears of War, you're probably still going to find enough to like here.
Sure. Okay.
It's pretty cool. I will say I've been using mouse controls. It kind of pushes you for keyboard or controller, which I suppose they're going to have it on Xbox One. But I stuck with mouse, and it has a weird sensitivity issue where when I'm trying to like zoom out or like move troops, that it'll just like freaking dart across the screen and they have to come back.
Oh, that's annoying.
Which is a little, I'm not a big fan of that, but other than that, I like it.
Huh.
You can unlock, I think after the first or second mission, you unlock squads of 4. So you can take 4 out on a mission, and then you have your whole barracks team to select from. So you can have like a total of 6 people in your roster at a time to pick from. And then you'll have people on the back burner too. And when I unlocked the full roster of 4 the first time, I didn't pick up on that. Like I thought I could only play the next level as a 2-piece. So I did that and I won. But it was I was like on the struggle bus and couldn't figure it out. And then the next one I realized like, oh, I was supposed to go into that with 4 people. Like I was not supposed to go in with 2 dudes because it was nasty. But I overcame. It just was not the best.
That's crazy. Yeah. Fight. That's pretty cool that they let you do that though.
Yeah, cool or stupid.
Maybe give you a few more warnings. Yeah.
Right. Like, hey, you don't have all your people. Maybe cool it.
Yeah.
Because it does when you don't. If somebody has a gear or spec point to apply that you haven't, and you put them in your party for your loadout, it warns you of that before you leave. So I'm curious as to why it didn't just warn me that I didn't have people in there that I could have had.
Sure.
Seems ill-advised.
Huh. Yeah. Well, my kids hit prime Minecraft age. So that's kind of what we've been doing a lot. It's just doing co-op Minecraft with the kids.
Nice.
Yeah.
We've been doing some of that too. My wife, not so much. She kind of gave up quickly, but my kids play on their server every day and like have to show me something. And we've
Mhm.
done 1 or 2 group sessions, but they always want to play in creative, and I'm like, no, like, that's not fun. Like, let's
No.
play in survival and make it challenging.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing at like how young of an age kids can wrap their head around. Like my kid can educate me on like every tactic, how to build every kind of spawner, like what can do this to who, and it's unbelievable. Like I don't know how he's absorbed it all. I mean,
Yeah.
I played a hell of a lot of that game, and I don't understand half of what he's telling me.
Yeah, there's a lot of other things. Like, yeah, my kid just taught me about charcoal. I didn't know you could make that without just coal. But
Just kids
know
are
if I
more
knew that either.
superior. They're more superior on the video game stuff.
yeah,
It's amazing. My son this morning, my son got his first solo win on Fortnite.
wow,
That's pretty. I mean, I feel like that's pretty impressive for
Mhm.
for an 8-year-old kid. And I don't know. I can't even hang with like his friends that are playing online and stuff like that. I can't even hang with them. It's ridiculous. And the same goes with the Minecraft. That's what they've been playing most of today is Minecraft on their tablets and stuff like that. I don't even know what's going on. I've never played Minecraft. Still to this day.
It's basically virtual Legos. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
I know, it's just so pixelated and gross looking.
No. Well, on PC, when you put some texture mapping on it, it looks fantastic, actually.
Really.
Yeah.
Didn't they just add like ray tracing to it now too? Which is
Yeah.
it's kind of funny because it's like still sharp edges on everything, but
Sharp ray tracing.
yeah.
Amazing. Well, there's something that that we get to look forward to. Maybe, I'm not sure if you guys would or not. But Amazon, the giant of retail, I guess, online retail, they now have their very first video game. So they have become their own video game company. And the game Crucible was their first title. They have 2 titles coming out. I think one's coming out in August. I don't remember the name of it. And they have this game Crucible has been postponed many times over. I think what they're saying is it's going to give Fortnite a run for its money. We'll see about
Good
that.
luck.
Yeah. But, you know, so
Bullshit.
Amazon is now, they're really banking on these 2 games to go well. And then they have quite a bit more in development from my understanding, which is really interesting. And people are saying they're going right after the throw to Stadia, which I think is hilarious anyways, that there isn't much there to compete against. But really interesting that this giant is coming into the video game world of whatever multi-billion-dollar industry and saying, oh, yeah, we can compete with, you know, Activision, Blizzard, and all of that stuff, which is really interesting.
I guess, like, what are they doing with it? Is it just PC only? Are they just publishing it?
Yeah, it's on Steam,
Or-
which is really weird.
Okay, so they're a publisher then, not
Sort of. Well,
publisher and developer?
they
Or-
own Twitch, so you would think that they'd put it on their Twitch app thing.
I believe they're developing. So Amazon, I can't even remember the name of their like.
Oh yeah, they have game studios for sure. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure it has microtransactions, right? Otherwise, why would Amazon give a shit?
Correct. Yeah, that it's a microtransaction. I mean, very similar to like Fortnite and all of those types of games
Mhm.
that you're buying skins, you're buying loot boxes or whatever it is. Yeah, they think they can hang with everybody, and I don't know. It's just so weird going through a lot of those free games available. You know, Call of Duty, Warzone, and you know, there's Apex Legends, there's Fortnite. I mean, all the games essentially are the same structure. I mean, different look and all of that stuff, but just very similar concepts: storms, circles, teams. You know, all of that. It's just really, really weird that. I guess it's a successful model, though, right? I don't know.
Yeah, for now. I don't think we'll be talking about this in 10 years, but
No.
yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, Amazon owns like the world, right? So the fact that they
Right.
have a studio somewhere in house that's doing this makes sense, I guess.
Right.
I want to say they have like their own like game engine, like I forget what it's called, but they're basically trying to go after like Unity as well.
Really
Yeah.
interesting. Since we're talking about, I didn't put this in show notes, but since we're talking about free-to-play games, Phantasy Star Online 2 got ported to the US and Western markets after 8 years, and it is free-to-play right now on your Xbox One, and it will be free-to-play on PC on the 27th. So, free MMO, I don't know.
I mean,
I want to check that one out.
It's like a 8-year-old MMO now.
Yeah. But it's very reminiscent in the fact of like MMO, the way you load out is a lot more like Monster Hunter, where there's a hub world, you form your party of 4 and you go to like an instance. So you're not like out in an open world indefinitely. And then they were talking about how the gameplay is pretty satisfying. They said it's kind of like a mashup between just like a straight hack and slash, like Devil May Cry, and then, you know, some elements of Monster Hunter in there. So I don't know. I kind of feel like I might check that one out, especially now that it's on PC or will be.
Yeah.
It's got kind of a legacy, right? Like that pedigree from the Dreamcast. Everybody kind of holds it up there with like such high regard.
It does. Like I if it was a new game, I'd be all in it, but since it's just like built on that old thing, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
IGN seemed to think it was pretty good despite the fact. Yeah, I don't know. They've probably done a good job of keeping it relevant to some extent.
I'm guessing
if they were charging $30, I think I'd be like, no, but
you know, I'd almost like that better than, I'm sure it's a lot of shit like, oh, pay for money to, you know, you're going to have like 4 spots to hold stuff and you have to pay money to increase, you know, that, all that garbage. So
sure.
I'm guessing in the long run, just to make it feel like a real game, you're probably spending more. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. There's only one way to find out.
Oh, no.
Yep. You
Maybe.
have to play it now.
Maybe. So GameStop had this sale where you buy 5 games under $20 and you get 50% off. And it didn't stop. So you could just keep buying games and they were all 50% off.
Oh, no. So it was buy 5 and then after that, every game's 50?
Yep. Well, yeah, even including the ones at the first 5 too. Yeah.
Oh.
So how many games did you buy?
It was a lot. I don't know all together, but it was a lot. And when you're digging through the depths of like the cheap games on GameStop, it's amazing seeing the stuff that you never knew existed, never knew came out, especially on like Switch even. There's a lot of shit on the Switch that's like, what is this even? But the one that caught my eye the most was Umahara Kuwase, which is a old Super Nintendo, Super Famicom game that's kind of well known for like weird physics, like grappling hook thing.
Huh.
And it's kind of well known for being popular for that. So it was really weird to see that they made a new one for the Switch and it came over here. And it's not very good.
No,
it feels really wonky. It feels like a Super Nintendo trying to do physics.
So it's Mohawk and headphone jack?
Kind of, yeah.
Ugh.
Plus it's like a lot of cooking stuff and yeah, it's okay, but
That game always has a way of getting back into this podcast. It comes up so many times.
It really does.
They need to remake it.
So you're still waiting on more games to show up, I assume, then, if you made a haul?
Yeah. Still waiting for a lot of them, but they come up
For you.
every once in a while.
50% off. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I like that it doesn't cap either. I mean, you wonder why they're going out of business. They don't. It's funny that you mentioned that too, because Brandon had texted me a couple weeks back, and it was like he discovered some glitch where it was if you bought 3 games under $20, it was like, or under $20 or $30, it was like buy 1 get 2 free. But then there was like another thing, separate sale that was like buy any game get 2 free. So it was like stacking because it didn't block the other one out. So he was getting like buy one, get 4 free essentially.
Wow.
I'm like, that's nuts.
They should really proof this stuff
Yeah.
beforehand, right?
Right.
Well, and I was banned from GameStop website for so long, so they must have
That's
finally
right.
said like, "Hey, we'll take money, sure, we'll take your money."
Now you're going to be banned again as soon as you get all that stuff.
Probably.
Screw you. Reggie, heard your pleas.
Yeah, I even got some of the retro stuff, so we'll see how that
Ugh.
comes in. Yeah.
Anything notable?
The first one I got came today was Toe Jam and Earl.
Oh,
Panic
And
and that one, it was real. It seemed like it was fine. It was okay shape. So
cards only?
yeah,
Cool.
that's the other thing.
Well-
You buy the Switch games and it's like, here's your little cartridge. It's like, come on, people.
Yeah, that sucks. Because you're going to lose that. I think I have like one loose game. I bought it maybe with you. I bought that Hyrule Warriors.
Oh,
I lost that thing for like 3.5 months. And I found it in a coffee jar. Like, I'm like, oh, that's where that went. Cool. So then I put it in a case properly. But yeah, I can't imagine having a Switch collection where you don't have the cases. It'd be so frustrating.
yep.
I feel like the Switch is different than like the DS, where it was like everybody bought those cases to put, their whole collection in. I feel like the
Right.
Switch should be different than that, but maybe people do it the same way. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, my portable case has like a couple of those in it, but outside of that, I don't have anything.
Mm-mm. My son lost Rocket League on the Nintendo Switch, and I couldn't find it for the longest time. Had no idea where it was. Found it in the cup holder of my wife's car. I about lost my mind, and it was months later that I found it. It's like, what is wrong with you, child? Just do better. Take care of your stuff.
Yeah.
I get mad when they put it back in a different case. And they're throwing them in cup holders with you. I
Yeah.
don't know, man. You gotta lay down the law.
Oh yeah, he went crazy on my shelf the other day, where he was pulling things out and then he puts it back. One, he pushes it all the way back so it doesn't look really nice and even across the shelf. And then everything is just mixed up. That's, Switch, Xbox, Wii, all of that stuff. I made him alphabetize it all. I was like, your chore for today, it's all coming out and you're alphabetizing it and fixing it. And I haven't gone over and checked his work, but I was pretty irritated with that.
Nice. Good play,
Kids.
though. I like
Yeah.
it. I mean, as long as he gets them by console, I think that's a win.
Yeah,
Alphabetical, even better.
I'm going to have my kid do that.
do it. Make him feel the pain.
My kid's gonna learn how to read better before I do that.
This is an opportunity. Say,
I
okay,
guess.
now it's time to learn the letters a little bit better here.
That's where I get irritated with my daughter when they play Nintendo games together, because I keep telling her, I'm like, no, stop skipping the text. Like, I want you to read this aloud to me. Like, at least let it sink in while you're doing something fun. Get a little goodness out of it.
Yeah.
Never happens. Damn kids.
To be fair, that's what you do too, though, I'm sure.
True.
Skip
yeah.
text.
Don't read any of that stuff.
No. As a kid, I remember reading it, though. As an adult, I don't really need to know the deep intricacies of Yoshi's Crafted World, though. So it's probably
I started
better
to
off
play Witcher 3 on Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
And never have any experience with the Witcher series. I saw a trailer. I was like, yeah, this looks pretty good. The gameplay doesn't look as good as the trailer. I'm just going to throw that out there right away. But I just wanted to jump in, start playing, figuring it out. I skipped all the text at the beginning. I was just like, don't need it. And I accidentally skipped the tutorial where it at least tells you what buttons do what. And so then I just got left in this castle of, okay, go to town. No idea what to do. No idea what buttons to push. And it was like, make sure you do this. Never did it. Couldn't do it. Ended up shutting it up and then uninstalling it. So I'm over it.
And I'm done.
Yeah, that was a rocking 20 minutes of my life. So I have now played Witcher 3.
Yeah, you know all
It's a
about
terrible
it.
game.
Yeah.
It's crappy.
Millions must be wrong.
Yeah.
I wouldn't enjoy it either. It's not my type of game, but
I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah, I was out. So
They need a better tutorial, it sounds like.
that just proves like how much time us dads actually have. I was like, I don't have time for any of this. If I can't just go,
yeah.
we're gonna have a problem. I thought it was some open world adventure thing. I still don't know what kind of game it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Skyrim.
when did we get to the point where we just kind of settled for like obnoxious upfront tutorials instead of like letting games just dynamically teach you things as you slowly started? It's such a wall anymore. I don't get it.
Yeah. And I couldn't progress anymore until I did what they wanted me to do, but I didn't know what button combo to do because I didn't read it right away.
Yeah, it's a
So,
bummer.
yeah. Very, very frustrating. So that's the way it is.
Well, but at least you and I got to do couch co-op for the first time in months.
Well, more like lawn chair co-op.
Yes. So for everyone who's like freaking out right now, we did what I'm going to call social distance co-oping. And I invited Nate over and I set up 2 lawn chairs several feet apart, got out my projector, my hacked PlayStation Classic with all sorts of ROMs from every console, and I put my projector screen on my garage door and we just sat in the driveway Friday night.
Yeah.
And just played a bunch of random stuff.
And it was glorious.
It was, minus the cold weather.
It was really like my first human interaction of friends outside of like co-working people and stuff like that and family.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh my gosh.
I
There's
haven't
a
even
human
spent time
being.
with family in that closer proximity in all of this. So
In your face,
that's
family.
how you rate. Yeah.
In your face. No, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was played a lot of different classics. You introduced me to a mech game that I think is absolutely terrible.
LAPD Future Cop. It's amazing, everyone.
But we played that after we played Battletoads, the arcade game.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was hard to make that shift to this crappy mech game. But Battletoads arcade, that's ridiculous. That's a really, really good version of Battletoads.
Yeah, it's fantastic. The art style's great. The music's good. The cutscenes are good. You know, the enemy variety and the humor. Like the door that opens with like enemies on the toilet and they see you're there and they come out after you. And then let's not forget the oversized enemies that tower over you. So your character has no choice but to, with one hand, bare fist their genitals and with the other, just start punching them in the balls until you kill them.
But let's go a little bit further with that because our listeners, they need to visualize this a little bit better.
Okay, you see
That-
how you can paint a picture, Nate. Paint a picture.
That's the Battletoads. They reach for the enemy's junk, and when they grab it, you can actually see their junk. I mean, fully clothed, of course, but the whole outline and everything as a pimple or whatever their names are holding this guy's dong and just punching it, just punching and punching that dong.
Yeah, as they shriek in horror, too. It's so satisfying.
And it was so funny. And it was just like constant laughs of, all right, quick, grab his dong, punch it. It's funny. And it got that ridiculous. But that game is brutally difficult. It's one of those unfair arcade games that are just like, yeah, you got a few quarters, give them to me, and you'll have 30 seconds of fun. That's it.
Yeah. And sadly, I think it might even be more fair than the console ports, but it's still ruthless when it comes to boss encounters.
Does
When
it
you
have
get
the
to those
carts?
boss,
No.
Okay, so none of that shit in
There
there.
is one cart level where you're riding on like a very small platform that moves automatically, which is some bullcrap because you got no way to avoid stuff. But
yep.
there's like the downwell section, but instead of ropes, you just have a jetpack, so it's not really an issue. Yeah, much more fair in that sense.
I've never seen this arcade. I would have loved to see this arcade.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean it's still a mystery. I don't even know what it looks like. I'll have to look it up sometime.
Yeah, and
And
it's funny too because like I always thought Turtles in Time was the first game where I saw characters get thrown into the screen like fourth wall, but this has that, and I'm pretty sure this predates it.
I mean, it's very either Turtles was a knockoff or Battletoads was a knockoff of either one. They were very, very similar, especially, you know, the starting of the arcade.
Well, the whole property itself too is pretty Ninja Turtles.
Well, I mean, yeah, it is, but yeah, it was very strange.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely made that thing to cash in on, you know, the Turtles craze for sure. So it says the arcade came out in 1994.
So that was post.
Hold on.
That would have been post.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles has to be 93.
Turtles in Time arcade release. Yeah, they're saying 91.
Really?
Yeah. That's very
the first one, yes, yeah. Turtles in Time was 93, right?
Well,
Turtles the arcade.
This is saying Turtles in Time was 91 in the arcade, but let's double check because I'll check Wikipedia, the most reliable of all websites.
100%.
So Turtles in Time was ported to the Super at NES in 1992. So yeah, it must have been in arcades in 91 then.
Sure. Huh.
Crazy.
That's amazing.
And Battletoads was 94.
So they say.
So it was well after all the other ones, basically. Huh.
Yeah, that's a good point. They made their best game on arcade hardware, though, for sure.
Yeah, they went backwards. They made the console games first and then went to arcade. You don't see that too often.
It's very true.
It's so much better than... I mean, I'm not a fan of... Every once in a while, I think the Battletoads has that cult following a little bit where they think it's a great game or they're, you know, speed running it and all of that stuff. And that's fine and dandy, but I've never got into that game. And I personally think, especially like the Battletoads NES version is garbage. I think it's absolutely terrible and not that good.
I mean, the thing is like, I think people have a fondness for it, not because the game's great, but it's just visually so striking and it does some cool stuff like that. First boss you fight in the NES one where it's like his perspective and you're throwing the rocks into the screen. And that's pretty memorable. I mean, and I always like playing through that part. But as soon as I get to the hover bikes, I turn that thing off. Like, it's just done.
Yep.
I agree. I don't like it as a game. I mean, I like the property and I like the looks, but it's not fun for me.
Yeah. I'm sure we've already talked about some PS5 in the last couple of episodes, but there was some news that the Unreal Engine, which is kind of the developer side of things for the PlayStation 5, they did a trailer not too long ago. Actually, I sent it to you, Ryan. And the trailer, if you ever have a moment, you should go check it out. It's pretty impressive for what that overall PS5 look is. Now, granted, it is a trailer, so it's not always going to be that, or not even close to that sometimes, because they're running in the perfect specs. But when you read a lot about this Unreal Engine and the capabilities of it, it's supposed to streamline development in a massive way, where it like auto scales everything. And so it's really doing a lot of the work for you, which is really interesting. So I'm curious to know if this is going to speed game development up even more, or is it still going to take many, many years, or if things are being auto-scaled or whatever, if that's really going to change how we see games coming out, if it's going to be kind of like those movies now or whatever, where it's just instant and instant releases and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Unreal's been the prominent, backbone of a lot of games for many years now.
At least AAA, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something nice about Unreal in that if you're already familiar with it and you're not a AAA developer, you're going to be able to take advantage of a lot of stuff easily and understand it. I think that trailer is great, and I watched that too. But really, those tech demos like that, like even with the PS4, you saw some of that stuff, and it's like, yeah, this looks fantastic in this very canned, closed off environment. And you never see like an actual game, even AAA, look that good, even through a life cycle usually. So I'm impressed by it. I'm blown away, especially by the lighting effects and the detail on surfaces. But I just don't expect a game to look like that. And maybe, a couple will for sure get close, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the statues and stuff that they duplicated it many times. So it's not like they were, I don't know, they were just duplicating assets, it looked like to me, that
they weren't really pushing the limits.
Right. Yeah. So they would fill out a gigantic room, but it's all the same thing. Just like the old days where the crowd of people would have like 3 models in it, but
right.
The lighting,
every
like
third
you said,
person, their
really
arms
good.
go up.
Yeah. It just reminds me of that PS4 one where they're like, look at the detail on this face. It's like, yeah, but that's all you're animating. It's a black space with a face. Like, of course this looks great, but like, that's not what video games are. It's not face the game, But yeah, I mean, that aside though, I think what they showed off was jaw dropping. I mean, photorealistic. I think probably for the first time I've ever been like, I could be confused by that if I didn't know in passing. Which is, I feel like something they've been talking about since even PS3 and Xbox 360, like photorealism, and we might get there.
There's been a couple
did that
times
with Game Boy camera too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Photorealism.
For whatever reason, like the NBA games, like anytime I see them, I have to make like a double take and be like, is that really basketball or the game? That's like the one that really tricks me right now, but
yeah, I could see that. I mean, even back on the Dreamcast, remember, like NBA 2K, you walk by in the store and you're like, is this real life? Nope, just basketball game.
Yeah, the sweat.
Yep. Did you guys can you hear my kids laughing in the background? I hear somebody peeing with the door open and giggling. Thanks, kids. Welcome to the podcast. And then we get the toilet flush in the background to cap it all off.
Is that considered ASMR?
It's just considered ASSMR. I lost my train of thought. I think I was trying to segue into Tony Hawk, but I'll just cut it off and we'll go, hey, let's talk about Tony Hawk. There'd been rumors. I think we talked about it in the last upload. And this news came out right before our last podcast went up, and we've been talking about how there was rumors of a new Tony Hawk game. I think there is still going to be a new Tony Hawk game, but then they announced the remaster for all consoles, not Switch yet, and PC. So we're getting Tony Hawk 1+2. It's kind of a stupid name. Being handled by Activision again, which is weird because I feel like after the Ride, Shred, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, Tony Hawk would have been a little bit leery about that. And I think he should have been, but I'm happy that it's Vicarious Visions that's doing this. So Vicarious Visions obviously did the remasters of the Crash Bandicoot, but they also did the fantastic ports of those Tony Hawk games to the GBA. That was their baby. So they were the ones who nailed that game on a console that shouldn't have been able to nail it.
Yeah.
So if anybody's going to get it right, it's going to be these guys. It sounds like both full games. All the skaters are back. It looks like most of the soundtrack, I think 18 of the 26 songs. It's weird that they didn't just fill in some other ones, but I guess I can kind of see that. And the only thing I'm a little bit disappointed with was I watched the interview with Vicarious, Jeff Keighley, and Tony Hawk, which, let me just touch on that quickly. Like, I don't see the point in Summer Game Fest when I just get the news outside of Jeff Keighley's thing anyway. But anyway, so they were talking, and what they did do, which I'm not overly fond of, is they added the revert into these games, which didn't come into place until 3. And a lot of people like that addition. I don't care for the revert. I think that's when it got silly to me. And it's going to break a lot of the original lines that exist in those levels. So that's a bummer. But on the positive side, they do have the original source skater handling code from Neversoft. So they should play just as you remember. And it
Wow.
sounds like they're doing 1-to-1 scale remodels of the levels. So the levels will be redone, but hopefully they're painfully and lovingly recreated, and it won't be an issue. I'm just happy that it's seemingly going to feel like the right game.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
hope it feels like the Nintendo 64 version, because that's
You poor
superior.
child.
It is superior and the only one that I've ever played.
You missed out, man.
That blue cart just spoke to me. And the music, man, the tracks on that, it
The
just
three
sounded
tracks
like,
that you had?
You
Were there
couldn't make out
tracks,
anything.
actual songs?
Yeah, there was some, wasn't there? Yeah.
Really? I'm surprised that fit on the cart.
It sounded awful,
Mm-hmm.
and you had no idea what they were saying.
Which is
But-
crazy because like that's the selling point. Like, there's a reason why people still remember Goldfinger, and it's not because they're a great band. It's because we listened to Superman 8 million times as we all played Tony Hawk's
Yeah.
Pro Skater 1 and 2.
Yeah. It's the trailer looks amazing. Like the graphics look really good, I thought.
Yeah.
But the revert doesn't. I'm kind of whatever. I kind of like the revert, but at the same
Right.
time, in those levels, the way they were built, it was like you
Yeah.
go to that warehouse, you're going to go on that rail back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's what you do. But when you have a revert, you can do whatever you want. You know.
Right. And I mean, I always have the option to just simply not use it, but I imagine they're going to alter the scoring system
Yeah.
because you'd have to, because your combos now are infinite.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm so pumped. Like I've said it a million times, like those games are what got me into skating. And I probably, outside of like some MMOs and maybe a Call of Duty here or there, I've probably sunk more time into Tony Hawk Pro Skater than any other game in my
Wow.
life. I still go through like every year and just 100% it
Really? Wow.
On the 64, of course.
on the 64. I also loved that the trailer, they went with Police Truck for the background song of that trailer. Like, of all the tracks, like I love that song, but that is not a good song. They had to censor it even, so it was funny.
See, but that's to me that's a Tony Hawk song for sure. Like
Oh yeah.
I hear that
Yeah.
song and I'm like, oh yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be pretty good. I'm, like those levels are pretty small too, though, compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
Once they get bigger, underground, it turned into just like a massive landscape. But
And one's a little hard to revisit, like with those couple downhill levels too. Like those just
Mhm.
they didn't really work in the context of the game even then, and they just don't hold up post that. Like once you got to 2, those just seem stupid.
yep. Do you like competition levels?
I mean, I like it for like a progression standpoint, but yeah, they're not usually my favorite.
Sure.
I'm excited that all this like modes and like skate and all that stuff is coming back, and that it'll all be online. I think it's gonna be huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, this is an immediate buy. In fact, I think I'm gonna I might just buy the deluxe edition. That it's not $40, it's 60, but you get a Tony Hawk deck, which is exactly what a skateboard deck costs. So you're not saving any money at all, but you also get a skateboard deck. So I might do that.
Full size deck?
Yeah, it's a birdhouse Tony Hawk signature model with like a fake signature on it. Like, inked signature.
Yeah.
Not inked, but pressed. And I don't know. I'm old and fat and uncoordinated, but I still skateboard a little with my kids. So I wouldn't hang it on the wall. I would like actually put a new deck together.
Cool.
So I'm excited. I hope this is the rebirth and this plays like I want it to. And then we get a new entry a year from now.
Same engine. Just like,
Same friggin' engine. Maybe they could add stuff in like getting off your board, and that kind of stuff, like the underground sort of thing. And like, but
that always felt weird.
yeah, it's kind of did.
I'm really hoping they come out with a rollerblading game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Has there ever been a rollerblading
Fruit
game?
booting?
Yeah, Fruit Bootin'
Fruit
1 and
booting?
2 remastered.
No, there wasn't. There was on the NES, but
There had to have been in all of that a rollerblading game, wasn't there? Aggressive Inline?
I'm sure there's
Yeah, Aggressive Inline.
Yeah, Aggressive
Yes,
Inline.
I have that.
Yeah.
I hate rollerblading, but that's a fantastic game. Like it copies the formula to a T.
It's just
I played
Dave
the hell
Mirra,
out of
isn't
that.
it? It's like on that engine, maybe?
Oh yeah,
I
it's
don't
Dave Mirra engine. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh. They just go right to
It's gonna
hoverboards
make-
now.
Yep.
Probably.
Or what are the one wheels? Are
Oh,
they
yeah.
called one wheels?
I think so.
I've seen a lot of those.
Oh,
lately.
those are
Those
weird.
aren't stinking cheap.
Oh,
There's a version that the original version was like $1,800. I
For like
just
the
watched
most
a video on
uncomfortable
this.
mode of transportation imaginable.
Right. And they just came out with a more affordable, smaller version for $980.
There's
So
some
that's
douche
crazy.
nozzle in town who has one of those, and he rides it all year round. Like, I'll be at work on the corner of that busy intersection in town, and it's like 10 degrees below zero, and he's got like ski mask and everything on. He's like rolling it across the intersections.
I was going to say, those things can't work on ice. I can't imagine.
I
Do
mean,
you
I
just
wouldn't think
pray
so,
for him
right?
to wipe out? You're like, please fall, please fall. Come
Yeah.
on, fall.
It's impressive. He's really committed to that thing. Plus, you would think like the temperatures would be bad for battery, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it drains it more.
Those one wheel guys.
I think they're better than everybody because they got one more wheel than the rest of us.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Nintendo news?
No.
Tell me the Nintendo news.
I was late to this, but they revealed the trailer for a brand new Paper Mario game that comes out on the 17th of July already.
Really?
So I don't know if they bumped up the release because like nobody knew this was even in the works, and reportedly it had been on the shop already. Like somebody found evidence that it was already on their store, ready to go. So they've just kind of been sitting on this thing.
What?
That's not good
And
news.
It's called like Paper Mario, like some origami. I don't know. The trailer looks great. It actually looks like a good one of those. Because in my opinion,
There's more
I've
bad
played
ones
the
than good ones now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I played the majority of them. And the only two I really liked was one and Thousand Year Door on
Mhm.
GameCube. I didn't mind that Wii one, but I also
That's
didn't
not a real one.
stick with me. No, that one felt weird.
Yeah. Nintendo needs to get away from the whole like it's cardboard, it's like
But
art
it's
stuff.
origami this
Yeah.
time.
Like it's fine if you have it in one property like Paper Mario, but they've moved it over to Yoshi and Kirby and, you know,
Yeah.
it's a little old.
Well,
at
and
this
the trailer
point.
did show yarn, and it did show like cardboard folding, like Yoshi's Crafted World. So it's kind of like everything they've learned about making those kind of games up till now.
Yeah. They even made you do it in real life in Labo. Which
Very, very true.
we spent a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon, about 4 hours, making the robot one,
Oh gosh.
No.
and we've maybe used it once. We played it like after we were done, and then I think he maybe played it one more time after that. He was like, I'm done.
All of my cardboard is still sitting in cardboard. So
Yeah, we did the house, we did the bugs, we did the fishing one, and we got half a piano. And I've had half of that piano, and I'm pretty sure I've lost pieces,
Oh, yeah.
like sitting on the floor for like over a year now. I even got that like VR one because I was curious. Still factory sealed. I totally shouldn't have bought that. It's like $2 now if you can find it.
Yeah.
What a waste.
I can't even remember the last Nintendo Switch game I've purchased. Maybe Luigi's Mansion was the last one. It's been a long time. I haven't even looked at any Switch games.
My last one's sitting right here. Well, I purchased it before, but this is the last one I picked up is that Bubble Bobble 4 Friends through Strictly Limited. Opened it. I've had it for 6 weeks, probably. Still sitting here. I just can't be bothered.
You never played it? Wow.
Nope, haven't
Yeah.
played it yet. Nope.
Which is your favorite series of all time?
Well, I do really like co-op Bubble Bobble. And it has the original on there, so we'll see. I'll get to it one of these days. We've just been busy with other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Duck game.
Yeah, we haven't even done that. My kid's been on a real Minecraft quick kick, which is okay because they were getting too good at duck game for my own good. Yeah, I don't know. You bring that up and like, for as hot as I was the first 9 months on my Switch, it's just collected dust since then. Except for my kids wanting to play stuff. Like I haven't bought a game for myself on the Switch in forever.
Yeah. It's weird.
I did Pokemon Shield, and I did it couple weeks and then just went through it and done. But yeah, I haven't done anything.
I stood in line on opening day for that Nintendo Switch.
Did you make a video of that?
Got my Zelda, and that was it.
Did you do a video on it?
Nah.
Were you doing YouTube back then?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was the weirdo who went to the midnight launch and handed them my receipt, and then they handed me my copy of Breath of the Wild. And I'm like, oh, no. I want the Wii U version. They're like, oh. And I got that, and I walked out super proud, and everyone's looking at me like I had a dick on my head or something. Like, screw you guys. I don't need $300.
I had a guy spit coffee all over me.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah, we were standing in line. So it was people that wanted the Wii U version. This was at GameStop in Fargo outside. And there was a line of people for the Nintendo Switch and then a line for just the game and count, stuff like that. There was all separated out. The guy I was standing next to was overly excited. It was freezing out, by the way. So this is midnight. Freezing. This guy's overly excited, and he just got that nasty coffee breath. He's a sweatpant wearing guy, and that kind of situation. And he starts getting overly excited about Breath of the Wild while he's drinking, and someone's talking, and he decides that I'm going to speak with a mouthful of coffee. And it just all shot out like his mouth was like completely numb, and it just starts rolling out, and he keeps on talking, and it's spraying all over me. It was the worst situation. Because, I mean, if you know me personally, I have a thing for germs and smells and all of that stuff. I was in a rough situation, and that guy really ruined opening day for me.
Man.
It's a bummer. That reminds me of the MGC where I stuck my finger in your cup of water and you just lost it. Why'd you do that? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Because this is why I want this reaction.
Well, even in my office, if someone grabs a pen off of my desk, I can't have it. I say, well, now you got to keep the pen. So my whole office knows that you don't come into my office and you don't touch anything.
Yeah.
You don't touch a pen unless your intentions are to keep my pens.
You sound like Howie Mandel.
It's a problem. I'm medicated for it, but it still doesn't help. I got some extreme obsessive compulsiveness.
Well,
yeah.
It must help a lot that you live with somebody who puts Switch games in a cup holder.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I feel bad for borrowing that or taking your isopropyl alcohol. You probably needed to like rub down with that. It just ruined your life.
Rub what down?
Everything.
Oh.
Germs.
Hey. No, I'm good. I have a stash.
Good.
I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm in a good place.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to have Nate bring over isopropyl alcohol because I couldn't find the stuff anywhere, of course, right now. And I needed that as part of my bathroom remodel and our tub restoration. Like the final step was, of course, to prep the surface with that. And it's like, well, I have like half an ounce between like my record player cleaner kit and my NES cleaning kit. So that's not going to cut it. So he was generous enough, probably gave me like 5 ounces of the good stuff.
So who's crazy like me? Oh, Nate.
Yeah.
Give him a call.
Well, I just remember
He's
being
got
over at your place, and
isopropyl.
like you'd always have like the big bottle. I'm like, that dude's got to have some, like for sure.
And I came through.
Yeah,
I got you.
it's great. Put it to good use. I mean, better use would be cleaning games I acquired, but tub is okay too. Or squirting it in my children's eyes directly.
Oh my gosh.
Teacher who's boss.
I got really dark again.
Yeah.
I was cleaning a cartridge the other day, and no matter how many Q-tips, how much alcohol I was using, would not get clean. Have you ever had that?
Yep.
It's kind of like when you shit and you can't you just keep wiping and it's the same.
Just like a brown marker
Yeah,
back there.
yeah.
And you just keep on wiping. Yep.
What do you
Been
do
there.
then? Like a little bit of Goo Gone right on the pins or what?
I just isopropyl alcohol. Just put it in a Q-tip, dip it in, alcohol, and then scrub it across the pins.
So you just kept doing it until it worked?
Yeah, I mean it worked right away, but I always clean my stuff anyway, and
Oh, sure.
just
If it's really bad, Brasso.
yeah, that's what
I
I've
don't
heard.
recommend it, but because it kind of eats a layer off
Oh, sure.
of the pins, but in desperate times, it'd give you a clean start, I guess.
Yeah.
You
I don't know.
what they say. Don't use Brasso, you asshole.
I think that's what it said it on the back of the cart, right? Said that.
Yeah, yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Also, don't.
And actually, that's
store in cold temps.
Brasso's. That's Brasso's theme. It's on the bottle.
I kind of knew it. I knew I heard that somewhere. I've used Goo Gone on the pins a couple times and wiped it off immediately, but for the most part, usually the alcohol stuff works.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could use what is I can't even remember. Oh, Rain-X. So I use Rain-X on the outside of the carts for marker for Sharpie, and it comes right off
Really?
immediately.
Huh.
Yeah. And I wonder if Rain-X would work on the pins. You'd probably want to try on a crappy game or something like that,
Yeah.
but
You know what I use for marker is the big old fat, like school erasers, like the big pink ones.
the white ones?
Mhm.
Oh, pink ones.
I've used the pink ones, and it takes a lot of elbow grease, but
Yep.
it gets it off there.
I mean, the game
Yeah,
wasn't even worth opening it up to get to the pins better anyway, so.
It's
Oh,
that kind of game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been lazy. I don't think I've cleaned games I've acquired in a long time. I also haven't cataloged them either, so there's that.
Every once in a while I'll get motivated, and then I'll stop after 10 games and be like, well, I got 500 some more to go. And then I'm like, a few months go by, okay, I'll do it, and I don't remember where I left off, so then I just start back at the beginning. So my first 10 games of my collection, mint.
Yep. You probably memorized them by now. I have those.
Yeah.
So speaking of like collecting, Nate and I got some good news. So for any of you who didn't know, I pre-ordered the TurboGrafx 16 Mini long time ago when the pre-orders were open, and I accidentally ordered 2. So Nate's buying the second one. So it's a win for him. And
Yes,
we've
it
gotten an
is.
update after all these YouTubers were showing the ones they got, which I think came through Amazon because it released Amazon Japan. It had been released in Japan. And then all of that started happening. I was like checking mine. I'm like, there's got to be an update, right? There's got to be an update if all these people in the US are getting it. Even if the US version isn't out yet, they've got to have a shipping date. Never happened. And then finally, probably I would say, 6 weeks ago max, I'd gotten an update that I shared with Nate, and they moved the release date of the US to December 31st of this year.
Oh,
Yeah. So it
that's
went
not
way in
really
the
a
wrong
release
direction.
No.
No.
It got pushed out to 2021.
Well,
for a while.
shipping it was going to arrive, but the technical
Oh, yeah.
release date was December 31st. We weren't getting it until the 15th of January, some dumb crap. And,
that seems like a placeholder.
Right. So we were pissed, and I'm like, well, I looked it up. That's what their site says. Like, that's the release date. So I guess it is what it is. I'm over it at this point because I'm already a year into waiting for it. And,
Wow.
and then last week, I got a text from Brandon again. He's like, did you get an email on that? I'm like, no, I haven't heard shit. I'm like, other than it was delayed. He's like, oh, well, I'm going to feel bad if you didn't get this, but I got an updated shipping and it's going to be here next week. So I'm like, oh, okay, let me check. And I ran out. Sure enough, they moved it up to a May release. So I think ours arrives right at the end of the month,
Oh, I can't
which
wait.
is fantastic. So by June, I'll be playing the mini that I don't need because I already have the original with the EverDrive. But have you guys seen the scale of the US version?
Is it small?
No.
No, it's like 80% size. Like, I don't even know why it's mini. It's literally the same
wow.
size almost as the console.
Huh.
It's kind of shocking.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. It'd be cool.
Do you want to have a release party?
Distanced.
Okay. 5.5 feet.
I guess we're gonna have to get together so I can get it to you at some point.
Yeah, you do.
I'll just get one of those like covered gripper claw things, and, like hand it to you. Yeah, it'll be fun. Been a long freaking wait for that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
when
you
was
order one?
pre-order? What was the pre-order, like a year ago?
Yeah, it was like last July or something. Maybe even I don't know.
Can you still order anything?
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, and it comes with 2 controller ports built in, but only 1 controller, which isn't really that big of a problem because like 99% of those games are 1 player anyway. But at some point, I should order a second controller. I think Hori is supplying those.
Now
So
I need to
might
see
try to order like a Japanese one.
I need to look at the controller ports to see how they did that.
It's just in the same spot, but they're stacked on top of each other.
Oh, okay.
Which, you know, and it's got that big, like, whatever proprietary port that they have. So it looks about right, surprisingly.
Huh.
So you never did pre-order one then, Andy?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
So I'll be jealous once you guys get it, I'm sure.
But then you'll have 20 of them by the end of the month.
We'll see. We'll see how they might not be all that available if they're just kind of like not sure when they're shipping and uncertainty.
Yeah. Well, and being it was only ever through Amazon and not
Yeah.
retail. That's kind of a weird choice.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know.
I don't even know. That'll be a good one though. To get in and set up finally. I talk about it like I'm gonna do that right away, but I bought that Genesis Mini and the only thing I've done is use the controller on a keyboard or on a computer, so
Yeah, me too. I haven't even fired mine up.
nope. I threw it in a box. I literally just threw it in a box in my game room. So, and then I bought. I don't think I told you guys, but I bought 2 of those At Games things. So At Games has those a couple of different like flashback or arcade collection things. And I found them both. Like there's the 2 versions at Walmart, and I got them both for like under $10. They're just sitting down here forever. So finally, I just took everything out of the boxes, threw them both in the same Ziploc bag, and like threw them in a box out my garage. Like, like, why do I do this? Why do I buy this stuff? I didn't even try it. So stupid.
Yeah, I still have one of those too. Never opened it.
Yeah. I mean, in theory, it would be okay because there's some good games on a couple of those. But
They're mostly Capcom, right?
yeah. Yeah. Well, the ones got like Aladdin and Lion King, so how can you go wrong?
Yeah. Mixed in with all these other games are like, that's not a real game.
Right. They can't all be winners or any of them.
Yeah, you can still just order TurboGrafx. It says May 22nd.
What about the controller? See any listings?
Oh.
Because I should get one of them. Probably just order the hub thing too.
Yeah, it looks like 8BitDo has them too.
Okay, perfect.
Like wireless ones even. Which
Ooh,
I don't
that
know.
might be better. Although, when Nate and I were playing, maybe it was the weather, but we were using those wireless controllers on the Classic, and they kept cutting out constantly. It was a real problem.
Yeah.
I mean, we're excellent at all retro video games. Surely that's the only reason we failed at Jackal and some of those other games. It's not because of our own doing.
I think they run on the same like hertz or whatever as a lot of like Wi-Fi and shit like that. So
Oh, sure.
there's a lot of interference, I think. Unless they're Bluetooth. You don't have Bluetooth ones, right?
No. Nope, just standard wireless.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, that I'll be watching what you guys think of that thing because
I mean, the boxes will look great. We'll tell you that from the
Yeah.
get-go.
Yeah.
We probably won't play it though, but
It could have cost like $25 less and I've been happier with it, but whatever.
wow, 2 games that cost that much. So
That's true, yeah. Yeah, it's just kind of nice to see like what is really just a massively obscure console in the West get that sort of release. So
and that Konami even remembers that they own it.
right,
much less make a product out of it.
We bought all this Hudson Soft stuff. Maybe we should do something. Yeah, how easy would it be for them just to do like classic collections? Just churn them out. I don't get it.
How many times have they done Contra and Castlevania shit, over and over?
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess Bomberman's the only thing that they thought was valuable out of that.
Well, they gave it like a piss poor treatment too with the Bomberman R. There's not a whole lot to that game.
Yeah, I didn't play very much of it. I played it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is Bomberman.
I think I bought it for like $25 on the Switch, and then maybe like 3 weeks later I found it for like $5 on clearance for the PS4. Super annoyed with that. But my son really likes Bomberman for some reason. So we had some fun.
Yeah. I think that's all I have on my head.
You have it on your head?
Yep. And, well, it's all out of my head now. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
And now into the interwebs.
Yep. Which will stay there.
I can take us out. Let me do that.
Sure.
Can I do that for you guys?
Sure.
Yeah, you pull out good.
All right. Well, friends, thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. Let us know what you've been playing, especially during this time. Maybe you've been diving into some deep RPGs or whatever. Make sure you send that via email to weekendrentalpodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media, YouTube, Twitter, all of those things. And as always, you can find all things Weekend Rental at weekendpodcast.com or geekade.com. Be kind. Rewind. Plantains.
Brasso for your asshole.
I pooped during this podcast, so leave a comment with your timestamp.
Is that where you went?
Yep.
That was a poop break. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Good job. You really pushed it.
Yep.
Multitasking son of a bitch.
Grunt one out.